magic on the track, boys.
And we are officially live. Hello, buenas noches, buenos tardes, buenos dias, depending on where you're watching us in the world. And welcome everyone to another episode of Los Lobos de la Lucha, your weekly CMLL review show, post-show breakdown, BC WrestlePod Network Conglomeration Syndicate, thingamabob we pretty much now do every single day of the week, especially this week. I am one of your hosts, Mikey El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, and I have the full crew in full effect here tonight. First and foremost, making their, reunited tag team debut, we have Adolfo and La Lucha Cat in the house. So they are
what everyone is here to see, and that's Lucha Cat.
They are here to see the Lucha Cat. And we are here to see you because we love you. And of course, rounding out our trifecta is, he's invited to the Quince and to all of the special, engagements that we have here. He is an honorary Latino Lucha Libre person. Papa Oso is in the house. He is our token white man who we love dearly, and he is more cultured than most people. Anyways, I've had some weird wrestling conversations this week, and I've wanted to fight some people, but that's a whole different, podcast. We're here to talk about some really fun stuff. And of course, rounding out our panel tonight, of course, in the chat is Primo, Agent Lo-Fi, who is here once again to, watch us talk about wrestling and make absolute fools of ourselves. But, that's an average Wednesday night. I look forward to these every single week. Yep. So we are here to review another episode of CMLL, specifically the past Viernes Espectacular show. That is the Friday show that CMLL has. And we got lots of fun stuff to talk about. But before we get into all of that, to kind of get through the announcements, as we normally do here at BC WrestlePod, if you are new to BC WrestlePod and you like what you see here and you want to continue to dive into our post-show breakdowns, whether they be live or edited, you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow us on Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred video watching platform is. If you want to interact with us in a more manageable way, that doesn't require you to watch hours and hours of random people talking and yelling about wrestling. You can still interact with us and, read us yelling about wrestling on the social media. So you can follow us on your favorite social media platform at BC WrestlePod, where we have report cards, we have previews of the TV shows every single week. We do predictions. It is a lot of fun. We just did our predictions for NXT's deadline happening this weekend, and you can check those social medias to see those predictions go up relatively soon this weekend. But if you want to take it a step further and you want to support us monetarily, there are two ways that you could go about doing that. First and foremost, we dropped a new Christmas shirt just in time for the holidays. So you can look that up, as well as all other designs we have in our merch store at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. Link in the description of this video below. And of course, yes, 'tis the season. It's so much fun. And of course, if you want to help us pay for pay-per-views and keep the metaphorical lights on up in this joint, then our little friendo, the coffee bot, will be popping up every so often, and you can donate to the cause, but feel no pressure to do so because we love you being here. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get into why we're really here, y'all, to talk about more Lucha Libre action. And it was kind of a jam-packed show. We got 7 matches, and it was wild. It was like 7 matches on a Friday, and it's not the anniversario show. What is this witchcraft? And so we have a lot to get through, and we have lots of thoughts about lots of things. So let's just jump straight into it, shall we? So first of all, I got to shout out to the design team because yes, not only do we actually use correct wrestling names for the most part, we also have a really nice gradient blue for all of our placards because, this is the finals of the, Leyenda Azul. So we're going to talk about that. But we kicked things off this week with our first of 2 Relampago matches that we were going to get. But this one specifically was a match Relampago de Pequeños Estrellas. So our, our tiny stars, if you will, our small stars, if you will.
5 feet and under.
5 feet and under. So, of course, in this bout, we had Shockercito. It's been a hot minute since I've seen him. Taking on Menos Dos. So, I am not gonna lie. When I read Menos when I was going over the card and making the slides today, again because I'm a proverbial nerd, right? I have the Teen Titans Más y Menos Sin Podemos in my head all the time now. Más y Menos Sin Podemos. God, I love those two. Anyways, so back to this match.
Yes, they were. Yep.
As a little side note. Everyone on this show is part of or won the bodybuilding contest, and I saw pictures, and I had to collect the jaw off my floor on some of these pictures. I was just like, I think I'm in love with everyone. So, yeah. I was like, Minos, I was like, hey. Anywho, so as far as the Relampago match goes, I had a good time with this one again. I thought this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun for me. Again, it's been a hot minute since we get the Pequeño Estrellas out and about here. And in a Relampago match, I thought this was a really, really fun too. Again, it's been a hot minute since I've seen Shockercito on my screen. And I thought a really fun time with this. I think this did a really good job of setting the tone. And again, first to pinfall submission under 10 minutes. So there were stakes to this, and I had a good time. And the crowd was behind this match too. So that was pretty good. And I enjoyed it. I kind of agree with you, Primo. I was just like, this is my first introduction to Menos Dos. And I would like to see more of him because I think he's fun. And I like his attire and getup. Yep. But before I get into the results of this, let's talk about the match a little bit more. So, Adolfo, I'm going to throw it to you first. What did you think of our Relampago match opening up the show?
Yeah, it was fantastic to see the Pequeño Estrellas. Again, we haven't seen them in a while, I feel, at least a month's worth of time. I felt Minos Segundo and Shockercito worked really well together. To me, it seemed like Shockercito was really bringing it this past Friday. I haven't seen him bring it before. He looked really spot on, along with Mino Segundo. As far as Relampago matches go, it was good. Definitely high energy. We do get the submission win by Shakarcito, doing his torture rack spin thing. Don't even know what to call it. But like, it was it was a lot of fun. Didn't go the full 10. Like we're kind of used to Relampago matches going. I went, I think, 8 and change. But yeah, no, it was good. It had to be what it had to be. Set the pace for the night. A lot of fun.
Alrighty, and Papa also throwing the same question to you. How did you think of this opening bout?
It was cute. I mean, and I don't mean that condescendingly by any means. I mean, it was like I didn't know either. I don't know either of these wrestlers. So again, this was new to me, and which makes it exciting for me when I don't know people, and because I get to see something new, and this is exciting, and this was completely new. So it was fun. It was fun, and borderline silly almost, and I didn't care. I was just like, and I see why the crowds love it.
Yep.
Honestly, I really do. I was like, I feel this. I see it. I loved it. I thought they were both great. I thought they were fun. But yeah, this is my first exposure to these guys. So yay.
Fair enough. So again, as Adolfo has said, we have Menos 2 picking up the victory here, which, again, was a lot of fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I had a fantastic time with this one. So, anyways, moving on, though, to our next thing. I love this. Listen, I was just like, listen, I love me the Escuela Boys. I truly, truly do. And I love this. I love the Escuela Boys. I really, really do. As far as this match, well, first let me set the scene, right? So this was a level, sencillo, a dos de tres caídas. So you had Fury Boy. Furry's a whole different type of thing. Yeah, I saw that face, Will. I saw that face. I was just like, listen, there has been things that happened today. But anyways. So we have Fury Boy and Astral. First of all, Astral coming out and looking like Lucha Libre. Buzz Lightyear was, you get one of these. I was just like, he had the whole gimmick and everything. I was just like, oh, we got money. Okay. I was like, yes, props. Oh, man. And they were taking on the team of El Troyano and Draego. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Troyano's mask, and I was just like, God, I love this so much.
Yeah.
God, I love this so much. Yeah, and then Primo, you kind of beat me to the punch with this one. I feel like, as far as matches that include Fury Boy, I feel like this is one of his best outings so far, and I had a good time with this one. Again, I'm going to be saying this a lot. I had a fun time, but it's not really hard to please me in Lucha Libre, in all honesty. CMLL always gives me some really, really fun stuff. But again, this is where it kind of amped up the energy a little bit. This is where it's like, alrighty, let us do all the things, and you know what? We will do them with varying degrees of success, but I did not care. I had fun with this one. So, Adolfo, I'm going to throw it to you to give me your thoughts and kind of give us a little bit of the play-by-play breakdown of, how we ended up getting to our winners.
So this was, I felt it was really good. A lot of fun. I think Astral and Primo fact check me on this, but I think he either won his division or won the Mr. CMLL, the Senior CMLL. I mean, I know he competed, but I could have sworn they said something about him winning it. So he looked more jacked than usual. Fury Boy really, I mean, and Draego, man, they were all over the place. It was like, you know how we constantly, or um uh how people make the joke. Yes, he is Mr. CMLL. Yes. You know how people make the joke in wrestling matches that, oh, everyone's spamming their finishing moves, right? It felt like that the entire match. That they were just spanning finishing moves, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It was because it made the match very fun. Some of the maneuvers that Fury Boy and Astral and uh, Drago hit were amazing. Um, Not to take anything away from El Troyano, I feel like he was the base in this match, and he did his job, and I feel like he did his job well. Great second match. Yeah, I dug it.
Alrighty. And Papa Oso, same question to you. What did you think of our second match of the evening?
I loved this match. Again, I'm not familiar with these guys. When I was watching the match, I was like, have I seen these guys before? But I don't think I've seen these guys before. Which is, again, is a great thing on my part because I love seeing new talent. So I was like, hey, well, look at that. This is like a twofer. So yeah, this one was great. I loved I thought this match kept the energy going. And, very much like Mikey, I don't have a lot of bad things to say anything Lucha, really. I mean, yes, I know they have their issues. There's always those, all wrestling does. You always have those sort of missteps or, oh no, I'm bleeding now. But we're going to keep going. You have all that. But I thought the energy was, I thought they maintained it. I thought this maintained the energy of the evening. I thought they all performed very well. Again, I'm not familiar with any of them, so it was exciting to watch them with new eyes, I guess. You guys are talking about, oh, so this, that, the other. I'm like, I don't know any of that. And I'm just like, they were brilliant. And I loved all of them.
I love
but
you,
I have
Buckley.
to say,
it's giving me, I'm happy to be here, honestly.
yes. I mean, I really liked Fury Boy. Like, you are no boy, sir. You should be Fury Man. My goodness.
Be like, ooh.
It's like, oh yeah. But no, I really did enjoy this. I love watching. Again, I love getting to see experience new to me wrestlers in this style. I just love it because I just love to see, as all human beings are, we all have our own interpretations of things. So it's neat to see everyone's interpretation of what this particular style of wrestling is to them. So it's so neat to see the differences and the subtle similarities, but a lot of they've taken this style and really kind of personalized it, and I really enjoy that. I think that's just one, and that's so I really enjoyed this match.
100%. And to kind of bring in Primo's thoughts about this as well, Draego was a bit off in the beginning, but he finally clicked towards the end, and then providing us with some information. Other than Astral, these are last year's Escuela class, so it's just like, again, love to see the Escuela boys get more time here on CMLL, especially on Viernes Espectacular, and we love to see it. Of course, Astral and Fury Boy do end up picking the victory here. They pick up the victory here in this match, and we move forward. So I was like, okay, at this point, I was like, all right, I'm enjoying this. I'm excited to see. I was just like, what's next on the card? Listen, I'm pushing. I am now part of the Olympia agenda. I'm just putting it out there right now.
Right?
I am full send. I am on the Olympia hidden agenda, like the agenda. You know,
mean Miss CMLL?
yes, Miss CMLL agenda, and she can bench press me any day she wants. Anyways, so we get our second Relampago match of the evening. This is La Jarochita versus Olympia, and again, I'm going to repeat it till the cows come home. I am part of the Olympia army, the Olympia agenda. I was like, there's the gay agenda, and then there's the Olympia agenda. Those are the two agendas I subscribe to. Again, are we far enough in? Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I was like, again, when I saw this, I was just like, oh, they're gonna hit hard, and they did hit hard. But then it evolved to, oh, they about to knock a bitch out. I was just like, it's not hard for me to love women's wrestling in general, but if there is a sense of just like, oh, I think someone is about to die, metaphorically speaking, not really, because we don't wish death upon anyone, but God, this match hit hard, and it was wild to watch. I was like, I'm just putting this out there. With a little bit more training, I'm like, I kind of want to see some of these girls go up against some of our Stardom girls. I would love to see the Stardom girls and the CMLL Amazonas fight. Yes, thank you for pointing it out, Angela. The crowd is also on the agenda. They were counting along for her squat spot. That's a really good sign for her, which is great. I think within this back half of 2025, I feel like Olympia has had a really good, I don't even want to say push, but the exposure to her has been great. Hell, you even got people who are who are on the AEW team who strictly only really watch AEW, become fans of Olympia and want to check out more CMLL action with her brief couple stints in ROH and AEW television and her match against Mercedes Moné for the CMLL Women's Championship on AEW television, which I think is great. Especially more eyes on CMLL is never a bad thing, in my opinion, because then we can convert all these weirdos into following the cult of Lucha Libre, and they will never get to leave. But anyways, as far as this match goes, again, this was a really hard hitting. I had a blast watching this one. Yeah, I was just like this. I was like, yes. Adolfo, what did you think?
No, toss it to Papa Oso first.
Very true. As the residential Amazona expert / fan club / presidente of women's and champion of women's wrestling through and through, Papa, what did you think?
These bitches were slamming, and I knew they were going to be because it was when they were announcing them. I mean, I was like, oh my Lord. I was like, Olympia and La Jarochita. Oh dear God, what is about to happen in this ring? I literally thought they were going to tear the house down, or one of them was not. I literally thought this was going to be like Thunderdome. You know, two bitches enter, one bitch leaves. I mean, it was like, girls, you're not playing. And you're right, the crowd was on fire, man. This was I love, and you know, of course, I love the Amazonas, all of them. But I'm really becoming a huge Olympia fan. It's just she kind of reminds me of like Jordan Grace, in that she just has that personality. She just exudes it. Like, she doesn't have to say a word. She just walks out, and it's just like fills the room. And I mean, it's like a giant entering the room. And I just, man, every time she enters, I'm just like, wow. I was so amazed by these two. I say it I think I say it literally every time we do this, is that the women's wrestling is so brutal and vicious and raw, and you know, it's just I expect there to be blood in these matches, like, because they're just so at each other. Like, I don't know, it's so crazy. And it just brings me back every time. Doesn't matter who it is. They say an Amazona, I'm there. Like, bring it on. because I know it's going to be good. You know, it may have its moments where, you know, some flawed moments like they all do, but I mean, these two were in there. I did nothing else mattered. I literally was just watching these two. I don't even know what, honestly, I don't even know what was happening outside of these two. I wasn't even looking because I was watching the two of them just go at it. So good. So, yay, Amazonas.
Yay. Love it. Adolfo, your thoughts on our Amazona Relampago match?
Indeed. I want to start with La Jarochita. I know that we've been talking a lot about Olympia. I'm going to get to her. La Jarochita, I felt that this was the strongest match that she has had in a while. Last few matches she's had has been with her tag team partner Juvia, or in like in a trios match. So I feel, I don't want to say that she was hiding a little bit, but she was able to not be spotlighted. This match, she was out there. She was doing the thing. Her planchas looked great. Her topes looked great. She was selling really good, especially when Olympia was like tossing her into the Benito barricade out there. You know, definitely a great seesaw going on with this, where, and I was wondering how Olympia was gonna do in this match, Relampago match, because Relampagos matches are really fast, right? Which we really haven't seen with Olympia because she's so big and powerful. But La Jarochita was the perfect foil to that in this match. Going to Olympia, who did end up winning this match, Relampago, with that crazy like double lock into armbar thing. Like, wow, what is that? That is awesome, man.
I
wanna see her
was
hit
so
that.
thoroughly impressed. Holy
Yo,
hell.
I want to see her hit that like every match. All she needs is like some signifier for it, like like that, But that was, yeah, it was awesome. These two definitely rocked it. Crowd was into it. This kept the energy really up for this Viernes Espectacular. Really good, really good, really good, really good. Oh, and
Really, really good.
2026, Tony Khan, hear my words. Olympia, Megan Bain, make it happen.
Listen, I don't know if my body, soul, mind, everything is ready for two muscle mommies to be fighting each other. But also write that check. So Olympia does beat La Jarochita. We got down to the wire, but with a little over 2 minutes left, Olympia seals the deal and wins the match. And again, this was so fantastic. This was great. And Agent Lo-Fi agrees with you, Adolfo, that this is La Jarochita. This is definitely the best she's looked in a long while, in his personal and professional opinion. So this was a fantastic bout. This was definitely one of the highlight matches of me for this episode. I had a blast with this. And we keep this train rolling because we go into our next match, which, has some sauce and some steak. Yeah, Adolfo, I see you shaking your head. This was me the whole entire time, too. I was, like, doing this the entire time. I'm just like, listen, I am also on the Utani agenda. And there are some stakes for this boy too, because we're going to talk about it in a little bit. But we get into our next match, which is a relevo australiano a dos de tres caídas. And on one side, you have the team of Capitan Suicida, Fugas, and El Aduas, taking on the team of Viano Tres Jr., Vegas Depredador, and of course, my new personal favorite in 2025, Mr. Utani. God, this match rolled. I was just like, again, I was this the whole entire time. I was just like, I have no notes. I have no words. I was just like, not the 6 people. I was sitting here and I was like, these 6 people, I'm familiar with them. I know, a little bit to a lot about them. They make their ways across the shows. And I was expecting, I was like, oh, this is probably going to be a good match. This was baller. Lord help us. I was just like, these are not the 6 people I pictured, making me scream audibly at my television or / computer screen. I was like, oh! I was having a great time. I was just enjoying the moment. Like, Lord help me. This was great. Again, I don't really have too many notes on this because of the fact that I was glued to my screen the entire time throughout this whole entire match. And we're going to talk about what happens at the end because this does set something up for this Friday's episode of CMLL Viernes Espectacular. But yeah, so after a good back and forth, I will say that it was Capitan Suicida, Fugas, and El Adwas picking up the victory over Villano Tres Jr., Vegas Depredador, and Utani. But yeah, it's not over between some of these folks, which I am here for it. Anyways, let's switch it up again. So, Adolfo, I'm gonna have you go first with this one. What did you think of this Relevo Australiano match?
Okay, so I need to talk about the elephant in the room. All right, that photo of Villano Tercero Jr. lies. Where the fuck did he get those muscles from? Let's forget the whole Mr. Miss CMLL competition. Where did he get so jacked? He walked out and I was like, hello? Pecs?
Listen, the Mr. and Mrs. CMLL
Whoa.
like competition / contest like did something to me on a spiritual level. I was just like, auga.
Yeah, and for our fans out there that might not pay attention to CMLL that much or might be new to CMLL, every year CMLL has a bodybuilding competition where they crown a Mr. and Mrs. CMLL in that bodybuilding competition. This year, it was Astral that won it for the men, and Olympia that won it for the women. But all well, not all, but a lot of the CMLL talent, gets involved in it. And I guess Villano Tercero Jr. was involved with it. I don't know. Again, I want to ask, where did he buy those pecs? Just saying. Because like a month ago, he didn't have those. I don't remember him having those.
And then bam, I was just like, make them titty shake. I was like, what is happening?
Right. I agree with Primo that the Técnico team is all guys that are super, super talented, but can be super, super inconsistent. This pairing with Villano Tercero Jr., Vegas, and Utani just worked really well. And again, you want to talk about spamming finishing moves the whole match long for 15 minutes? Like, this was it, and it worked really well. This is the type of match that your rank and file internet wrestling fanboy would hate because it was all flippy dippy and it was fantastic. I'm done.
We'll love it. And to kind of bring this back up really quickly, the Mr. and Mrs. CMLL competition is super important, as Primo points out. It's one of the best ways to getting good with the boss and get some bookings like tonight, obviously. Again, these 6 were not on my paper, on my radar, so to speak, but they had a baller match and I enjoyed it. Papa Osa, we're throwing it to you now. What did you think of these 6 individuals throwing it down in Arena Mexico?
It was pretty incredible. I have to say, the more and more I watch Utani wrestle, the more I love him. Like, wow, he's so good. And I didn't know much about him until when he first came onto the scene either, which is crazy. Yeah, I agree. A lot has changed since the last time we saw Villano the third junior on our screen. I was like, hello. I don't know. I was like, why did everyone suddenly get all jacked? I didn't know anything about the Mr. and Mrs. CMLL thing.
I'm telling you, it's those tiggle bitties. Anyways,
I mean,
continue.
he had some nice meat pillows, man. I mean, I just was like, wow. It did it. I had to cock my head a little bit. I was like, what? What is? Wait, I don't know. I think I might be distracted through this whole match, and I was, but I enjoyed the match as well as the aesthetics of the match. So yeah, it was good though. This was a really good one. I was really thrilled with this one.
Something else I just want to point out. Thank you for reminding me, Papa. Also, Villano Tercero Jr. This match had an edge to him that I have not seen like all year. He came out and he was like, because they say like he's one of the top rudos. And I've always been like, meh, but like tonight, this Friday, he was spot on. I was really impressed with his performance. So
that's why I was wondering if it was because of the new aesthetic.
Yeah.
I mean, because if he's like, yeah. I was like, you're wanting to be the rudo. That was the way to do it. Because now it's like, he looked like a completely different person.
The way he wrestled too was like slightly different as well.
Yeah.
Like there was, again, like you said, Adolfo, is like it was more of an edge to him as he was wrestling, and I was just like, now hang on, now what we doing? Like, oh, hold up.
Oh, really?
You have not seen pre-CMLL Villano Tres Jr. He was a brutal guy. Now that kind of makes him hotter.
Yeah, it does. He's a bad boy.
No. That's also important too. He's also just coming back from injury. Makes a lot of sense now. So I was just like, ooh.
Oh, maybe that's why he was a little different.
So did not know that, but glad he's coming back. Coming back from injury.
Well,
and
all I know is he looked good. I mean, and I don't just mean sexually. I mean, like he looked good. like physically, he looked fit. I mean, he looked like he was in a good mental place. I mean, he was looking good. And then when he was in, when he walked out, I didn't know who he was until they said who he was. That's why I felt like his whole persona was different.
Yep.
So, but no, this was great. Good for him for getting back from injury. So well done, sir. Welcome back.
Yep. And I'm going to jump this shark. I'm so ready for Yutani Capitan Suicida this upcoming Friday.
Yes.
That beginning sequence with those two was nuts.
Lord, I'm so ready.
Yeah, give me more.
So the Spark Notes version of it is Capitan Suicida calls out Utani. They're going to have a match this Friday, and I am ready for it. Well, I mean, I say that, but I don't think my body is ready for it, but I'm excited for it. It's going to, it was great. Ooh, interesting, too. Villano Tres Jr. and Vikingo were in the same AAA tryout, listen, that is a pretty crazy class to be a part of, not even going to lie. Because I know people have issues with Vikingo. I love me some Vikingo. But I'm here for everything, and it's great. So yeah, I am looking forward to Capitan Suicida and Utani going one-on-one this Friday. Makes me super excited. So I want to preface by saying this, right? I don't want to say that the next 3 matches were like not as crazy and I thought they were bad, but like everything before this was kind of crazy. And then the next 3 matches for me personally, I was like, this was pretty solid. I still enjoyed it, but I was like, I feel like we're missing like an element or two to take it over the top for me. But I think that's because of, what we ended up getting. So let's go into the final 3 matches of our Friday, right? So first up, we have our CMLL World Tag Team Championship match. So this is the first of 2 championship matches that we got for the evening. this saw our current champions, the Los Hermanos Chavez, Angel de Oro, and Niebla Roja, taking on from AEW and pulling up for the Death Riders. We have Wheeler Yuta and Mr. Daniel Garcia.
Not no. We're not gonna be like Daniel Garcia. No. We're gonna say it the right way. Daniel Garcia.
Very, very fair. Danny Garcia. I'm just kidding.
Danielle.
Daniel Garcia. So Primo is going to disagree with me, and I was like, fine, be that way. I'm just kidding. No, I love it when we usually tend to agree on a lot of things, but I'm okay with being told that I am wrong, because you know what? Sometimes you're wrong. Anyways.
I also kind of disagree. I thought this was a pretty damn good match.
I will, to be quite honest though, because I watch everything kind of tends to bleed together. And again, I watched Dynamite leading into this, and both Wheeler and Daniel Garcia.
It's just honestly, Danielle sounds so much sexier than Daniel. So Danielle Garcia.
Yo, that's how they were announcing him. Just saying.
Hey, it's okay. I thought it was
very
sexy.
fair. But yeah, so we have the CMLL Tag Team Championships on the line. I'm just going to start with Primo. He says, though I was a bit disappointed with this one, they only went just over 11 minutes, and I felt that in the match didn't get the Chavez false finishes, but still good for what we got. I'm just happy to see more. Well, I've been always asking for Wheeler and Garcia here to be in Arena Mexico, because, again, you will not get me on this one, especially Wheeler, because Wheeler has wrestled around the world. He's been to Japan, he's been to Europe, and you know what? He's had a stint in ROH and Ring of Honor when it first came back. I was like, I'm wondering what other AEW wrestlers that Tony Khan would send to Arena Mexico to participate in all this glorious action. Well, now I know. We got the Death Riders coming in for this past episode of Viernes Espectacular, and man, I was just like, it was so fun watching them play Praparudo too. I was like, oh, they fit so well here. It is so good. Switch up time. Papa Oso. So, of course, we are familiar with Los Hermanos Chavez.
Yep.
And this is your first real introduction to the Death Riders, so specifically Wheeler and Daniel Garcia. So what did you think of this championship match?
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I mean, because again, I have never seen Wheeler and Danielle before. I didn't know who they were. Because I don't watch AEW, so I don't know any of the people from over there. So, I was like, oh, this will be exciting to watch, because I don't know them, and I thought, oh, two different styles for the most part, kind of come into the same ring. At least, that was my overall impression. And I mean, I like this match. I really did. I didn't think I was going to, because I'm one of those, I just think when you bring in other companies, things get weird, things get odd, feels off a little bit. And yeah, it did have that, but overall I really enjoyed this. I actually liked the two guys from AEW. I actually really enjoyed them. I thought they kind of made me want to watch more of them. So now I know where they are. I could go and watch some stuff, but
yeah
no.
And again, with AEW's working relationship with CMLL, Rev Pro, Stardom, New Japan, a lot of the guys and gals and non-binary folks that we see are going to be crossing over a lot more. And I think that's what makes me super excited with this working relationship between all the companies. But anyways, I'm going to throw it to you, Adolfo, my sexy, nerdy Puerto Rican. What did you think?
Earlier on in the night, we had Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta cutting a promo. Wheeler was in English. Daniel, giving him his props, Boricua, he hit his part of the promo in Spanish, and he called out the Hermanos Chavez. I thought that was very, very good and very well done. This match and the next match felt very North American, if you will. The So for example, in this one, it wasn't your typical um Sencillo rules, where you have to pin both people on the team. It was the more standard US rules where one person gets pinned and the match is done, right? So that did take a little bit off of or that did change the chemistry of the match, because we are so used to seeing that type of match, especially out of the Hermano Chavez's, where we will get Primo, pointed out, we get our Hermano Chavez, false endings, right? Uh, Also, if any of you watched when I was over with the AEW crew, when the whole Death Rider thing started up, I was not a big Death Rider fan. I enjoy each individual wrestler that was part of the Death Riders. The whole Death Rider shtick, I didn't really care for at the time. I feel like it's evolved a little bit, so it
I
worked.
think they found their footing once they found the direction, and now we have the
Yeah.
current roster of people in the Death Riders that we do now.
Right. And when I stopped watching AEW was when Danielle and was trying to court Wheeler, to like pull him away from the Death Riders or whatnot. So seeing them both as Death Riders was really cool. Coming into the match, I felt they worked really well with the Hermanos Chavez's. I felt that they really were enjoying being the Rudos. I mean, they were eating it up. I felt they were having fun with it. Calling out the audience and like the what was it, Wheeler or Danielle that did the whole flying thing before they got tossed out, and Angel Niebla Roja did the topes on him. Um, it was really good in that aspect. And then the wrestling I felt was solid. Um, did we get any like super crazy, 450 moonsaults or anything like that? No, that we got that in earlier matches, right? This was more a straight up match. We did get the Hermanos Chavez's winning and retaining, hitting their signature, or I should say, Angel de Oro. I believe he hit it on Danielle. That Hermano Chavez really cool swinging submission move. So yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I didn't think I was gonna like it when I saw it on the card. I should say I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I liked it, and I actually liked it a lot and was really like when the match ended. That is my complaint. It felt really short. I wish they had more time to cook. I wouldn't mind seeing him run this back and letting him go a good 15, 20 minutes. That'd be fantastic. Definitely got me hyped for the next match coming up. So
Which, let's roll into that, shall we? Because Claudio Castagnoli has been doing something to me in terms as a wrestling fan, because I don't know if this is a him decision or just because he's feeling his oats as of late. He's always kind of had that brutality to him. When I was introduced to him, as Cesaro back in the Fed days of when he was there. If La Jarochita and Olympia taught me anything about this night, it was just like when you get two bruiserweights and two big boys and just people who are just going to destroy each other, it's about to go ham. Ooh, I'm actually so This out of the last 3 matches, this definitely was my favorite, and I don't disagree with you. I think by the end of this, having watched everything back a second time before the review, I will say this is my match of the night, and I'm gonna tell you why. Again, this goes back. Well, first of all, Gran Guerrero is amazing. Love him to death. Like, hands down, love the Guerreros in general. But he's been a really, really fun champion. 3 years, I believe he's held this title, which is nuts to me. But then again, I survived the Roman Reigns 4-year reign of terror. So anything is possible, and it's fine. But Claudio, Claudio, a former, CMLL Grand Prix winner, might I add, too, because he was last year's men's Grand Prix winner. And so these two knocked the fuck out. I was like, holy shit, man. Oh my God. I was just like, it's not fair because, like, we're getting toward the end of the year and I'm starting to solidify my final matches of the year list. And I was like, damn it, I might have to put this on the list and we got to reorganize things again. I'm so mad at you, CMLL. How dare you give me banging matches? But holy hell, this is exactly what I was going to bring up. Like, I love this match, and this was my favorite match of the entire night because, again, championship matches bring out urgency. Gran Guerrero threw everything, the fridge, the kitchen sink, his mama, his auntie, everything at Claudio. And I agree. There were things I saw him do. I was just like, hold up. You mean to tell me you had this in their arsenal and we were just sitting on this? Like, what the was that? I was like, holy hell. I was like, continue to surprise me. And I was great. But gosh dang, Claudio, you are such a brute, man. Holy hell. I don't know what's going on the last couple of weeks, but within the span of like a week and a half, I saw him brutalize Orange Cassidy by picking him up by the scruff of his whole entire pants and throwing him around like he was a feather. Watching him beat Orange Cassidy in the Continental Classic match this past week and also brutalizing him. Knocking the fuck out of a couple of people at full, like, I don't know. This, and both of them killed it. This was amazing. Adolfo, say some things because otherwise I'm gonna go on forever just giving adjectives and explicitives.
Gotcha. This was a great match. If you can find it on the internet somewhere, and you're not a member of CMLL on YouTube, definitely sit down and watch it. It's just that good. Claudio, no stranger to Arena Mexico. I felt that he had a good, even though he was the rudo technically in this match, I felt like he still had a good crowd following behind him. Not to jump the shark, but yeah, Claudio does pin Gran Guerrero, and he picks up. He is our new Campeonato Mundial de Peso Completo for CMLL, which I'm sure he's going to wear that belt proudly. He is a very, even though he plays this this Death Rider character, he is a very honorable wrestler. So he's gonna wear that belt with a lot of pride. I feel that not only we're gonna get back to Claudio, Gran Guerrero, totally. He and los guerreros, laguneros, they always say that ellos son lucheros de otro nivel, right? They're wrestlers from another level. I felt like this match pushed Gran Guerrero to that other level. I feel that a lot of times that we've seen Gran Guerrero, he wasn't by himself, that he was, that he's with his brother, Ultimo Guerrero, and with Stuka. So he's, in those matches, basically like the base, even though we have seen him fly. This match, we saw him with some great ring acumen. We saw him selling a lot of stuff that Claudio was throwing at him. Great match from Gran Guerrero, and having Ultimo looking pretty suave, if we can say, in that suit as Gran
I
Guerrero
was like,
II.
well, hello,
Um,
Bond villain.
right,
I was just
right,
like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
right. And then Claudio, I think also, and I haven't seen Claudio wrestle in a while, but I feel like this match also pushed him to another level. You know, I didn't see him do his usual shtick where he like European uppercuts, runs around, European uppercuts, runs around, right? He was like actually in there. He was actually present. That European uppercut that he hit from bouncing off the rope, that was really cool. I have not seen him do that. Um, you know, again, I haven't seen him wrestle in a while, so maybe this is something that he's incorporated on AEW TV. But it looked really good when the two of them got up on the top rope to do that maneuver. Um, I was scared because that was a lot of man meat at the top turnbuckle, and I was not sure how that was going to end out. That it did end up really good. You know, and Claudio got the pin. And also Claudio to lift Gran Guerrero and do the helicopter on him the way he did. Just shows just the raw power that Claudio has. I've always been a Claudio fan. So, but this he I see him in a different light now after this match. Um, I feel like he's really come into his own. So
Alrighty. Well, I mean, you've heard my thoughts. You heard Adolfo's thoughts, Papa also. What did you think of this match between Gran Guerrero and Claudio?
So I enjoyed it, but this is one of those instances where you're teamed up with just the right person on both sides, where no matter win or lose, you both come out of it looking amazing. And that's what happened here. Because, and I kind of agree, Agent Lo-Fi earlier had mentioned something about Gran Guerrero came, Gran Guerrero came, win or lose. He came to put his all in, basically, to look good. And I think Claudio helped with that. And I think because of what Claudio brought to this match, Gran Guerrero was like, it pumped him up. And I think vice versa. I think with what Gran Guerrero was bringing in, Claudio got pumped up. So they were feeding off of each other's sort of energies. And I could feel that through the whole match. So again, with no matter what happens at the end, they both look amazing. So whether, and because, Claudio wins, but Gran Guerrero looked incredible. So I didn't feel bad for either of them. So I didn't feel bad for Gran Guerrero because he looked incredible. He looked amazing. And I think he felt good. At least that's how I kind of felt. The energy off that match is, because they were both so good. And and I'm not all that familiar with Claudio. I know him because I've seen him a couple of times, but I'm not familiar with his backstory or any of that nature. But when they got into the ring, I could feel them sort of feeding off of each other, and which was just pumping them up. So every move that was made, every technique used, every whatever, it was just building them up more. It was great. It was so neat. And I agree with when they got up on that turnbuckle, I was just like, is it going to hold them? I was literally like, I mean, that's a lot of mass in that one little area. I was like, that's a well built ring, my man. I was like, because that I did when they started going up, I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Oh wow, but no, I really liked it. I thought it was great, and I think that I think Claudio was. I mean, I thought him winning it felt right. It didn't feel like, oh, Gran Guerrero was robbed. No, it literally felt. It almost, honestly and truly, it almost felt like a handoff, like a succession. Like, you are now succeeding me in this honor. Almost is what it felt like to me. I mean, reading in between the lines, the subtext of things, that's what I like to do. But it literally felt like Gran Guerrero was like, I'm going to fight, and I'm going to fight hard. So you're going to have to earn this bad boy. And you did. So here you go. Wear it with pride, represent it with pride, and go forth. It's kind of what it felt like to me. So, yeah, there you have it.
We love it. And again, Claudio walks out as your new champion. Fantastic. This was a banging match. Loved it. So, with everything out of the way, that leads us into our main event of the evening. This is the finals for the, Torneo Leyenda Azul 2025. This, of course, we have our Novio Soberano Jr. taking on the poster boy of CMLL Místico, and someone I was not expecting in this match, but still pretty fun to see him here, in Barbaro Cavernario. I'm jumping the shark here, so I'm stealing this from Adolfo. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I was kind of surprised to see Barbaro Cavernario win this one. I was like, okay, Místico, fine. I was like, ooh, but I was all in on Soberano Jr. Well, apparently CMLL likes to pull the swerve and completely make us look like fools out here. How dare they take this away from our boyfriend? But you know what? I'm kind of happy for Barbaro. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, you know what? This is good for him. I really think so. It's like, this is a really good win, and I know the Leyenda Azul is super important to the history of CMLL. So I'm just like, to have his name, be one of the champions, for that tournament winner. I can't be mad at it. I thought this was a really fun main event. But yeah, this was really, really fun. And yeah, my favorite trope right now in wrestling is Icarus flying too close to the sun. So when a wrestler's hubris gets the best of him, it creates some of the most fun storytelling, and that's exactly what happened here. Soberano's arrogance got the better of him in this match. So also, Soberano, that outfit though, be like, I need to know, where is he getting these designs from? Like, I was like, are we like talking to like Paul Gaultier? Are we talking like Mugler? Like, what is these Fashion Week inspired, stuff? I was just like, I need details, Soberano, because they are amazing.
Fashion icon. Gonna pin that on him. Fashion icon.
Yes. Fashion killer out here.
Fashion icon.
Yes. I had a fun time with this match, and this was really, really fun storytelling, and this was just a fun ride getting into the finals of the Leyenda Azul for this year. This was a fun match. This was great. Adolfo, what did you think of this main eventing our show this past week?
Yay, Barbaro! I didn't think it was gonna happen either. But I guess I'm a minority where I watch CMLL and like I don't expect it. I expect the unexpected. You know what I mean? So it was, walking into this, I actually thought Soberano Jr. was gonna win. Great to see Barbaro Cavernario win. It was a fun match. It was a great closer to a great night. Soberano Jr. just fashion icon. Fashion icon. I also feel that this leads us a little bit more to that showdown that we are going to have between Soberano Jr. and Místico. It's coming. It's coming. So, it was, as we say with most main events for Viernes Espectacular, send the crowd home happy. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Papa Oso, your thoughts on this match?
This felt like a Three Stooges episode. Oh, and what I mean by that is the outcome. To me, it felt like the clown won because the hero types just fell into the trap. It's like, and which I loved. I thought this match was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious because it's one of those, Místicos, Soberano Jr., Barbaro Cavernario. It's like, which one of these things is not like the other? And I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was whoever came up with this deserves a raise. Because this was one of those where you're just like, oh, that's cute, Barbaro Carbonarios, and that's adorable. And then it's like he wins, and it's like, oh, okay. I'm like, hell yes, my man. And it literally, to me, it felt like, you've seen the Three Stooges ones or the comedy sketches where the clown character accidentally wins because the other ones knock themselves out or something, and it's what it felt like. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to end the night. I really did. I was like, this is hilarious. I love this. So I loved it. And yay, Barbaro. I mean,
right.
Get it, girl. Get it.
And Primo coming in with his thoughts. This was a fun match. The dynamic between Barbaro and Soberano was a treat to watch. This was a fun send the crowd, home happy. And again, Barbaro Cavernario is your 2025 Torneo Leyenda Azul winner. And that is how CMLL Viernes Espectacular goes off the air, so to speak, for this past Friday. So, shall we get a look into what this week brings to us? Because it is getting crazy out here, y'all. So, of course, we have another jam-packed, really fun show that is going to be happening. So, this week, we are kicking things off with a Relampago match where we are seeing Pendulo taking on Carnifice, who I have no idea who this is, but I'm always here to be introduced to more peoples on my screen, right? So, I'm excited. Then, kicking it off in our second match is an Amazonas tag team match where we see La Catalina teaming up with India Sui, taking on Zuxis and Olympia. I was just like, oh, Lord, here we go. I was like, all right, let's do this thing. Then, made from this past Viernes Espectacular, we are getting a mano a mano. Mexico versus Japón, Captain Suicida versus Utani, which I'm excited for. So yeah, so I have no idea who it is, but I'm excited. Primo's got the goods, so we are going to see how this turns out when we come back next Wednesday for the review. But yeah, Captain Suicida versus Utani is our third match. Then, in an evento especial, we are getting the Dragon family, so Dragon Rojo Jr., Dragon de Fuego, and Dragon Legendario, taking on the team of Guerrero Maya Jr., Magnus, and El Cobarde. Then, in our semifinal, main event, so to speak, we are getting a really fun trios match. Templario, Titan, and Neon taking on Barbaro Cavernario, Volador Jr., and Averno. So I was like, oh, damn, here we go. But guys, strap yourselves in because it is the battle of the boyfriends, so to speak. Because it is Místico and Máscara Dorada taking on Soberano Jr. and our lovable undead zombied wrestler Difunto. God, that match on paper sounds really, really I was just like, oh boy, the boys are fighting. Místico and Soberano Jr., eternal rivals galore. Excited. Can't wait for that. So that is going to bring us to the end of our review portion of CMLL, but don't touch that dial because I have some breaking news, kind of. So Informa, of course, goes on about the same time we go live. And Informa dropped some really, really fun news. On Friday, December 19th, they are calling this the Dream Match Show, where we are getting quote-unquote dream matches in CMLL, and they announced 3 of them. So let me just run this down because I need to take the Saturday off tomorrow because I will be a wreck because of how crazy my wrestling dreams are coming true. So the 3 matches that we have been announced so far for Dream Match Friday on December 19th, we have Neon versus AEW's Kevin Knight. The Jet is coming back to Mexico. Yeah, Adolfo, your face is like me. I was just like, God, that's going to be crazy. Oh, but it gets better though, because the second Dream Match Friday, matchup we have, and this is going to be for the Campeonato Mundial Histórico de Peso Welter. So the championship is on the line. Máscara Dorada versus Speedball Mike Bailey. And I'm like, ah! Listen, we're far enough into this review. I was like, listen, my wrestling boner is at an all-time high right now. Holy hell. But then, if that wasn't enough, for the Campeonato Mundial de Peso Completo del CMLL, Claudio Castagnoli versus Ultimo Guerrero. And I'm just like, ah! Lord, talk about 2 bruiserweights going at it. Yes.
Lord.
I was like, pork, love it. And then Agent Primo giving us that the Grand Alternativo final is also going to be on the 19th, which is another crazy tournament. God, that night is going to be stacked. So I am looking forward to December 19th. We may or may not decide to do a review because technically that is during our vacation period. So I was just like, but technically, actually, no, we won't have a review because that we do our reviews on Wednesday. But that 19th review, I'm very sad there's not going to be a review because that would fall on Christmas Eve. And no, all of us want to live to see the next day, and our partners / families will kill us if we decide to abandon them for an hour. So
yeah, so noche buena.
No, I would like to live to see the next day. So, but we could probably figure something else out because I do definitely, even if it's just a pre-record, I was just like, give your quick thoughts. It was baller. Thank you. But I'm excited. CMLL continues to prove that they always have a good, give us really good stuff. But yeah, that's going to be it for us tonight here at Los Lobos de la Lucha. We still got a lot of stuff coming up this week. Tomorrow evening, we got another double header. First off, we have our Mystery Wrestling 20 review. And then, of course, I will be locking it down at, later in the evening for Progress Wrestling Vendetta 3, which I'm super excited to talk about. Friday is our TNA review show, which will also be the go-home review and our predictions for Final Resolution, which is the final pay-per-view for TNA this year, which is crazy. And we're also going to talk about their new TV deal with AMC, which is nuts to talk about. Then on Saturday morning, myself and Benny will be here to do Ring of Honor's final battle, in which I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being, super optimistic when I shouldn't, but there's something in the air, and I don't know, man. It would be kind of crazy to see Persephone dethrone Athena to become Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Also, Bandito is about to put this title on the line against Hechicero, and they literally just threw all the luchadors in one match because it's Commander, Bandito, Hechicero, Beast Mortos. I was like, Lord help me. In the survival of the fittest match, and it's going to be a fun time. So tune in for that review on Saturday. And then Sunday, we wrap things up as the WWE crew will be reviewing Survivor Series, talking about the pay-per-view, giving my insights of what it was like to be there live and in person in San Diego in Petco Park, which was crazy because I've never thought that a baseball stadium would be the right venue for wrestling, but I was proven wrong. But yeah, we are getting into the tail end of 2025. And again, set your dates because Sunday, December 21st, all hell breaks loose as BC WrestlePod hosts their 3rd annual end of the year podcast episode where we talk about the good, the bad, and the straight up ugly of wrestling. So tune in for that. But we got to get up on out of here. It's late for a lot of us. So without further ado, Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next Wednesday for another exciting episode of Los Lobos de la Lucha. But from all of us here and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll see you later for the rest of this week's reviews. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.